All right. Hello. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening, depending on where in the world you're logging on from. You've dialed in for the Monday Save Club Corporate Update Zoom with our CEO, Charles Mui, out in Las Vegas, Nevada. Folks, we're excited to have each and every one of you on this Zoom. And if you're catching the recording, well, hello to every single one of you as well. So I know Charles has got a lot to cover. We don't want to be too long today, but we'll take as long as it takes to get the information you guys need to be successful. Folks, if you haven't figured out, and if you're brand new, welcome. But if you've been here, if you don't know this, our CEO, I don't think the guy ever sleeps, folks. He's tirelessly working on making this the best opportunity of 2025. Not that it isn't already, but it's just going to get better and better and better and better. And so I'm going to turn this over to our CEO, Charles, and I'm going to go handle the muting in the waiting room. Back over to you, Charles.
Okay, great. All right. Thanks for the great introduction there, Matt. Pete Delmonico is going to be joining us here on the call, and we're going to candidly share with you guys, what's working out there, what's happening in the world of Save Club on a daily basis. I've opened up a calendar invite so that anybody can, reach out. I did a whole bunch of calls last week, and I really love hearing from everybody. Getting the different feedback and just, hearing, their feedback on the Blitz, the different programs, the savings, and the things that are coming through. And, today I wanted to share the feedback we've been getting on our app. So we've been getting a ton of, here, Matt, we're still getting some feedback in here. Get some feedback.
I think that worked.
Yeah, there we go. We're getting a ton of feedback on our app, and just how well it's working in terms of people getting cash back that they're not expecting. And so it's so nice that when you get prospects on with the app, and one of the most important pieces there is that they upload as many credit or debit cards that they have onto the system, because then the cashback becomes totally automatic. And it's really exciting to see when you're out in the world and you're just, shopping around. We had a whole bunch of college students get started this last campaign. We had a really cool campaign come out for back to school, and people were getting the app, and they're already in their brand new environments. They're away from their homes, and they're using the app, and they're seeing the cashback come through. So this is really encouraging. I've got our first report back now that we've been running the cashback for about a month. I got our first reports back on how the cashback is getting settled to everybody and about the time frame that it takes. So one of the most exciting programs that we've put together is the cashback match. So when you're using your app and you're able to get your cashback, the person that shared the app with you, which you should always do that through your replicated links in the back office, or if you have the Save Club version of the app, you can share it there. But when you share the app with others, it then tags them to you forever. And so as they start using the app and getting cash back, we now get the reports back where we can see what they've earned, and we're going to be doing a 10% cashback match. Now, this is huge for people that have massive influence, like organizations, employers, nonprofit groups, sports teams, anything from anytime that a business or an employer or an organization has an influence over an audience, we're putting together campaigns to do sharing of the app. We do co-branded campaigns. Just this last week, since we've been talking about our nonprofit program, we've had people come with like lacrosse teams, people come with churches, people come with schools and other organizations that have literally global reach. So right now in the United States, we got our app working, and what we're going to be doing, there's a pretty big delay in when the cashback is issued, when it's all collected, and then we can pay. So there's about a 30-day lag, which is fine. And we can settle once a month on the cashback and on the cashback match. When it's your cashback and it's done through your card on the app, it goes immediately back to the card. Then we're able to see that we're able to see all the stats, compile them into a report, and then pay the enroller right through your commission check. So this is another way to get paid through Save Club. And so we're going to be turning on this cashback match. And I really feel that this story of helping other people save and you say and you get paid, that completes what we've been doing here at Save Club. And I'll tell you what, when you've got people that are getting the value inside of the app and able to see that, demonstrate it, to get them to upgrade, that's the other big initiative that we've been doing. We've been making tweaks to our tour, increasing like our product page. I've got a really cool product page. Dave did a great job making the videos and laying out that product page. We've done a ton of research on how a long form sales page looks and flows and the different graphics, and that is being compiled right now. And that's really going to help when we're able to put that out there. Pete, you want to comment a little bit about just, how diverse, being able to share savings is, and really how we can go. We're one of the few companies that can really reach into an organization, offer something of value, offer something for free, allow that organization to bring it and appeal to their entire audience. That's the scope that we have here. So, when you've got a product like savings that really has the mass appeal, it's going to go. Now, when we're working inside of areas like New Jersey, where they've got these large spikes, it's not just New Jersey, there's a whole grid that affects those states right there. Just New Jersey made a lot of news about this because of their dramatic increases in their electricity. This is a place where, we're compiling the hooks. We're basically, stacking. We've got a program to reach the masses. We've got a great need. Now let's create a campaign. Just also know that anytime that you create a campaign, you've got to test it and work through it. And what we're seeing, there's cases when we send hundreds of people into a page and it doesn't convert, and it's like, okay, now what do we have to do? What do we have to tweak and make these changes to get it working? Sometimes it's the traffic source, sometimes it's something else. I just want to let everyone on the call know that as we start working with organizations, we're going to be, highly conscious of what we're presenting to them. We want to, stay away from messaging that would be, at all controversial to what they're doing, especially if it's like a church organization or like an organization that would be sensitive towards the network marketing aspect of what we're doing, because we can really reach a lot of people without having to dive into the network marketing component. That comes when people want to get in and get involved. So Matt, we had Pete there for a minute. I don't know. I think we lost him there.
I'm back. No, I'm here.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, there you go, Pete. I didn't see you there. But yeah, I wanted you to comment a bit on on savings and being able to reach out to the masses, and why this product makes sense for mass campaigns like this.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great. All you guys show up every week and really support us and everything. And there's so many cool things you can do. One thing is the swag, like me and Charles have, and get the word out that way. People will ask you about it. This morning, my neighbor was doing a little gardening, and I was walking by, and we started talking. He mentioned some restaurant. I said, I think that restaurant's on my app. He said, what app? And so I gave him the app. Nothing to do with the business, nothing to do with joining anything. I just gave him the app. He had it in 10 seconds. He was like, thank you so much. So you could share this literally with everybody. My buddy just called me. He said he gave it to his girlfriend. She doesn't like those things, but he never even mentioned it. He just gave her the app. She does a lot of shopping, a lot of restaurants and stuff. So she loved it. So just get it out there that way. You want to use the 90-day blitz. It's not only good for your mind, but it's going to teach you what to do to market. You want to use all these great reels and everything that Dave's making for us. I mean, I can't even post them fast enough. There's so many that you can use, and you can find the ones that you like, and you can use them over and over again. They're amazing. So a lot of cool free stuff. It doesn't cost anything to find out if you can lower your bills. It doesn't cost anything to find out if you can qualify for the electricity savings. You might even get a bonus for doing that, depending on where you are. It doesn't cost anything to start using the app and everything. So just get out there, and that's the way you can really help us, is to get out there, and be a good steward of Save Club and kind of fall in love with what we're doing, because it's an idea, Now, could I have walked up to my neighbor and said, "Hey, Bob, you're looking kind of chubby there. Do you want to try some weight loss?" Or, "Hey, have you heard of this crypto coin? It's going to go up 87%." Like they would have looked at me weird. He probably would have poked me with the rake, "Get away from me, Pete." But this is the only product that I've ever seen in MLM that I can share with people. I could just share it with people, and there's, nobody's going to look at me weird. They're going to actually appreciate it. Everybody loves to save money. And so that's what I really love about it. So yeah, be a good steward. Check your electricity. If you're in one of the states, we do. If you're in Canada, you can do lower your bills. If you're in America, you can share the app with everybody for free, even people that don't want to share business stuff with. And just kind of, get in the 90-day blitz, make sure that you're paying attention to that. Really good. We're going to be coming out with so much cool stuff. Like we can't even keep up with all the stuff we're going to do. So, just try to play catch up with us and use everything we got. We got a lot of cool stuff already, man. And we're only 85 days in. So we're just barely getting started. It's amazing.
Yeah. And so, with that, Pete, a lot of where, we've had some big interest from organizations that literally have the reach. It's fun. It's fun and exciting to get on the call with, people that are saying, I've, got this whole organization. We've got the whole, uh, years of developing a relationship with a particular organization. And then this is the first time that they've had the ability to, bring something that's going to help the organization that they're so much in love with, something that they've volunteered their time for, the energy. So you never know what it's going to lead when, you introduce a neighbor, you introduce an individual, and they get value and where that leads into. And so that's where I want to talk about network marketing as a profession and what we get paid to do. So over 20 years ago, I was taught the strategy of when you're networking, you're actually working through people's contacts. And so the likelihood of you knowing the right person, it's limited. But the likelihood of the next person knowing the right person, it increases. And the next person knowing the right person, it increases. And so when you've got an opportunity like we have here, where just the value of one contact who understands what we're doing could then lead you into a massive network of people, just one employer, one organization. I've got a friend here in town who's got 6,000 employees and they're rapidly growing. They just got a big contract with U-Haul. They're doing Amazon, the United States Post Office, they're a cleaning company. And we're bringing the app to their whole organization as an employee benefit. Now, this guy's a multimillionaire. He runs a very successful business. He's not really looking for an extra stream of income. He's doing very well. However, he wants to help his employees. He wants all of his employees to get the cash back, get that, and then he sees it as a way where the revenue that's going to come from that, they give it to their charity of their choice. So it's just a win-win-win. But again, I mean, that one enrollment or that one bringing that one person to their whole organization, that could be thousands and thousands of customers that fall into the matrix there. And so this is where a smart business person or an organization can understand that they're helping their organization, and every time that those people get value from the company, they're going to be rewarded. And it's something that is in perpetuity, so that once you get it started, it stays in place for the lifetime until that person's credit card expires or until they delete the app or something. But why would they? So it just stays in place for a long time. This is a big change in the way that nonprofits raise money, or sports teams, where they're out there doing like a bake sale, or they'll do like a single drive or something, or they'll just basically every week just put their hand out and just ask for a donation. Here's a good exchange of value that's there, and never discount how you get to that next level. Like, because you introduce your neighbor, well, when they get value, you need to ask for the referral. Say, who do you know that could do this? Who do you know that could bring this to an organization? If you're part of an organization, go, who in the management or who in the organization structure here could be interested in looking at that? You really need to ask for that referral. And that, I think, is kind of a lost art form of what's there. So we've got some 90-day blitz trainings about how to, there's already some trainings in there, but it's going to be about how to dig through layers. Now I'll tell you what happens. Pete, let's say you talk to your neighbor, he likes the app, and say, well, who do you else know around here? Do you know any organizations you connect to someone? He connects you to a referral, and that referral gets excited. Well, guess what? He's going to get excited. So this is a way that really brings more attention to what we're doing. And we've got the app, which is the ultimate prospecting tool. Just like we were talking about before, where typically if you want to have somebody sample what you're selling, you need to provide them a sample, which is expensive. Some of these come and what do you mean? You sample a whole bottle of products, or and then when the company has to package stuff down into individual sample sizes, it becomes very expensive for people to get that. Plus, if a product's not an impact product, it doesn't have an immediate kick where they're going to feel it on the first try, second try, well, then your sample's, kind of wasted. Well,
Yeah,
here,
but you only have to get cash back once to know it works. That's the difference, right? With
exactly.
a weight loss, if I don't take it for 4 or 5 days, I might not notice anything, but I only got to get cash back once.
Yep, and it's the sample that keeps on giving, because they're bound to eat at another restaurant where they get cash back. It's just inevitable. There's only so many restaurants in the city, and we got great coverage, um, and and then they get the notification, and it could happen a month later. So it's a residual prospecting tool. Not to mention, as people get involved as an app user, they're also getting our power line messages and all that. So I've got a whole series. We've got about 15 emails that we've rewritten to just be more in alignment with the story and with the messaging that we're really dialing into over here. So that'll be an email series. I'll definitely post that in the Blitz so everyone can see the new email series that our prospects will be getting. And I want to further reach out and just say, as we roll out these programs that are these like super networking programs, we want to work with people directly to really dial them out. And so I've opened up my calendar. It's been filling up pretty good. But in each one of those calls, what I'm focusing on working with the people is, who do they know? Because there's, in every single call, there's been a relationship that is within their network that they've not approached with Safe Club. Either they didn't know how, or there was a mismatch inside of the relationship. So just another key principle here. And Pete's going to be doing this, I'm going to be doing this, but with doing a three-way conversation, it's a way to introduce somebody to the company. And if they don't like the company, then they don't like the person that's introduced to. So let me give you an example here. Let's say I've got a group over here. There's a soup kitchen that's right here in town. They're great people. My friend volunteered for them every Monday for like 5 years. So she goes and she shows up every Monday, and she gets in the food line and she heats up the food and she puts it there, and she just wants to help the organization. She volunteers for years. Like, well, who do you know over there that you could introduce me to? Because here's a nonprofit, or here's a way for us to bring that organization residual money, and they've got a lot of people that support them. They actually, for a while there, and this was kind of sad, they had the buffets here in Las Vegas giving them all the food. So they'd pull the food off, they'd store it, and they'd go pick it up, and then they canceled all that. So it was like all this food that was being done, and during COVID, they canceled that food sharing, and then that sucks, because that was a lot of recycled food that was going to hungry people. But they need funding regardless. So I say, Angie introduced me to the organizer over there. And all she has to do is say, hey, I know somebody that could help you with your program. Here's a flyer, take a look at it, meet Charles. I speak to the organizer. If the organizer doesn't like the program, that's fine. They don't like me, they don't like Safe Club. But the relationship of Angie and her soup kitchen that she supports totally stays intact. Now, if they do like it, then she looks like a hero. But it's a no-lose situation. And so this is a strategy that the people that implement it inside network marketing, it's a way to have rejection-free referrals. So if you don't have somebody to do three-way calls with, then let's cultivate that. And we've got enough people here that come to calls that are trained. And this is why it's important to have the right leadership mentality to be able to offer that to your team. Because really, these connection points, they're little, but to have the confidence to make an introduction, to have the confidence to get on a three-way phone call, these are really personal development skills. They're mindset skills that it really just takes the effort there. And so when you're able to make that gap between getting on a call, getting on a call and presenting to 166 people, it's not comfortable to do that, but it becomes more comfortable as you go about doing that. Now, Pete, I know you've used the strategy through a phone call to build groups into the hundreds of thousands. What's a way that that's helped you within your business?
Well, I always think about things strategically, like, if I'm talking to somebody on Facebook or my neighbor, yeah, I can, share with them and get a decision right there. But I'll give you an example. My church, there's a few hundred people, and I'm not just gonna, hit my pastor over the head right before a sermon and be like, hey, you got to sign up for this, everybody's gonna love it. So what I did is I mentioned it to him. And then I know the lady that does the accounting, so I'm going to mention it to her, and the idea that it could raise money for the church. And then I'm going to let that cultivate over, maybe it might take a week or two. And then when he has a few minutes and he's not doing something and I have his attention, I'm going to say, hey, I shared it with Becky, and Becky thinks it'd be a cool way to get some extra money for the church. And why don't we do this? Why don't we get you signed up? Costs nothing. And then I'll share the church's link with a few people in the church so that you get credit for it. And I can show you how the cashback works. And so if that takes me three weeks or a month, it's worth it. And sometimes it's worth it with big teams like Charles. You're gonna work with this cleaning company. Would it be worth it to take your friend out to dinner and get him some delicious Thai food like you got me, and then maybe show him, hey, look at that's how the cashback works.
Well,
Then he
I see that.
experiences it, and then he's more likely to kind of fall in love with the idea too. So don't try to rush everything, guys, is the point. Some things you can get, if it's a person, immediate decision, it's a no-brainer. Everybody loves to save money. But if it's a big thing or it's a complicated thing or you need multi-layers or you need permission from someone you're not necessarily directly attached to, then take the time to cultivate it. And believe me, it'll be well worth it when you get there. So that's my advice.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic, Pete. So what I'm gonna show you guys here is a screen, and I'm gonna cover this idea of super networking. Now, you get these opportunities as we've just been sharing, and let me see if I can zoom this in a little bit. 1 second. I'm gonna share the screen, and I'm going to do it as a portion of the screen. So one part about
Perfect.
super networking, I call it a snap. This is also something I learned back all the way in 2005. We learned these snaps, and it's a super networking accelerates potential, the art of scaling into large organizations. And what a snap is, it's a elevator pitch. It's a 30-second elevator pitch that like it like the national anthem or like your favorite song or something, because you've said it many times, you've practiced it, and you've said it. I help individuals and groups save money on things they're already spending money on, like dining, travel, entertainment, shopping, electricity, internet, cell phones, virtually everything else. I'm seeking people who want to make money, who want to make their money go further, and have connections to organizations who would like to have their people save more money. Who do you know? And so this is a 30-second presentation verbally, so that when you do end up, Pete, speaking to your pastor, or you do end up talking to Becky or the right person, that it's rehearsed and you know what to say, that you've practiced it enough or you've said it enough. And this is why it takes time for anybody in any type of business. Okay, I don't care if you're selling lawn mowing, or selling solar, or promoting to invite someone to an organization. People have their pitch, and it's natural. And this is an easy one to do. It's also really great if you've got a testimonial to share, but it's very important to have the ask and be prepared for this, so that when the opportunity arises, when opportunity and timing meet, if you have that preparation done, then you'll get lucky. And we're not asking you to like recite the whole speech. It's a 30-second pitch that you can and it may take time, may take a little bit of practicing to understand it, but having a super clear, precise pitch ready and loaded is like having your gun ready. If you're a police officer, you don't think a police officer goes out to go do his job and he doesn't have his gun loaded, clips, bullets and clips, or his vest on or whatever. It's the same thing inside this in this business, that if you've got clear, efficient language, you're able to share it, and you know what to ask for. You're asking for, who do you know? Like, we're saving people money, we're using this app. Check out this app, and then ask who they know, because driving in through your prospects, and you can ask several times for a referral, and that could be the one connection that sets it free. Because the way that we're able to do here, one contact could be so powerful. One contact, like the next person could be the next superstar in the company, or that next relationship could be the opening to an organization that has thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds, even millions of members. We're talking to some groups where they've got reach to global organizations that have hundreds of thousands of members, and guess what? They're all looking for a way to generate more money. So as you set up your meeting, you want to have your staff ready, and always be good for the ask. To GET, you must ASK. So be clear about what you're asking for. Who do you know that could use more money for their organization? And you can even stumble through it like that. But the important thing is that you're asking for something that could then net you the right contact, and bring it to a really big level. So after you've made your ask and you've got your staff, you want to invite them back to a three-way phone call. You want to invite them back to a webinar. You want to get them to use the app, or to view the tour, so they can see the entirety of what we're sharing here. And that's just a little formula, that if you got good at that one thing, being able to present for 30 seconds and ask for a referral, that doing that consistently over time, that's what builds up the reach. And again, we've got so many different tools and so many different angles to help people. With dining, it appeals to everybody in those states. With electricity, it really appeals to everybody, especially now that they're feeling the squeeze. And with AI being such a hot topic, I'm just so excited to get this AI finally up and launched and running for everybody. It's been a technological build to get it all dialed in and working and connected. We are so close. We're like week by week right here, and turning this on. But that's just another very exciting topic that's in the world right now that we're able to share with. So
And kudos to you, Charles. You could have just grabbed something off the shelf and tried to make it work, but we had stuff custom built just for us. The same thing with the toolbar. The toolbar is going to be amazing, and it's custom built just for us. No one will be able to get it. No one will be able to have it other than Save Club members. So on both of those fronts.
Yeah, no, and a key piece here, Pete, is it's all tied in together, so that we've got our landing pages, our marketing system, our training, our commissioning systems, the phone dialing systems, the text messaging systems. All of this stuff needs to work, seamlessly inside of a complete system. And one important thing about a system is how you go about optimizing it and dialing it in. So from when someone enters into a program, how efficient are they given the information? Yeah, the least amount of clicks, the most amount of information given with the least amount of words. That's what optimization is all about. And so we're working on that on a corporate level, just to get it dialed in. And that's what's leading us a lot closer to doing a co-op. I've had a lot of people ask me if we could do a marketing co-op. We've tested several campaigns. I've got one group that we've tested their traffic extensively. They've brought in over 160 paid affiliate enrollments, and they're just chomping at the bit, to get this started. But the one thing I don't want to do is start a co-op without having the right amount of trained people, or start a co-op and not have the proper onboarding systems, which I feel we've got now. With over 1,200 people in the Blitz, with the type of results that we've got going there, this is something that, I would go. I mean, if you guys can type in to the chat, is Matt, do you know if you got the chat open?
I can unlock that. And also, folks, the co-op is just an add-on to your personal reach outs, to your personal marketing. A co-op is not a do-all, tell-all to grow your business. It's an add-on. So you're trying to unlock the chat.
Yeah,
and
I did. So and I'm just curious to say, we've got 168 people on the call here. If we were to put something in place like that, who would be interested in looking at that? And then the co-op would be, very affordable. See, the idea is to put a professional marketing campaign like this in place. It costs minimum $10,000, probably, a lot more. The good part is we've already tested through. We know that the program works. So, if you're interested, just let me know, who'd be interested in something like that. And look, the idea is not that the co-op's going to do it, because we would limit the amount of traffic you'd be able to get through there. But what it does is it helps push you to the next rank. And if you've got an organization, you can go from another 20 enrollments, another 50 enrollments, another 100 enrollments inside your organization will accelerate that. And so when you're able to compound that, it makes sense. And so co-ops inside network marketing really work out. But the idea is, when you get people enrolled, you have to be a responsible sponsor. You've got to be able to direct these people into the right information so they can learn about the company and get it going, because it's that two who get two. And that's what's powerful about this compensation plan. But it kicks into the, to the deeper levels there. And I'm actually going to pull this slide for that earlier, so you guys can understand what I'm talking about here. Okay, so this slide here is, to get to. So this is why I feel, co-op would be very, beneficial for the organization. Is, if someone got in and they're in the process of learning, they're in the process of understanding Save Club, they're in the process of getting their testimonials together, doing their prospecting, growing, but immediately they could hop into a campaign that is already running, something that we've tested, something that we've vetted, and that new person's able to step in here and get their first two, who get two, and get people from started to 1 star. And it's basically like training wheels to get someone started, get him an income testimonial, get him going here. Here's the other big part about a co-op, why I've considered doing this, is the more traffic that we're able to generate in a consistent, reliable way, the better the data is. And when we have really good data, then we know we got to tweak this message, we got to tweak that message. I can see thousands of prospects and tens of thousands of prospects coming to a landing page, but some of that traffic is warm market. It's incredible. It converts really well, but some of it's like cold traffic we don't really know. So it's nearly impossible to get stats as we go to optimize pages. However, running a co-op, we'll be able to dial that in really fast. That's what we've done so far. We know what pages are working. Again, this traffic source has done over 160 paid enrollments, and we're generating these enrollments at a good clip. But my fear is, when people are sponsored with no sponsor, with no enroller, they're enrolled into the company, but nobody contacts them. That's just a kiss of death. I don't want that to be the culture of the company or what's going on. But these are good people that are, paying to get involved into affiliate program. I feel now that we've got the training and these pieces in place, it would work. And really, where it gets exciting, for the earnings is here when you start reaching these deeper levels. Now, Pete, I know Pete, you've got, people on your 16th level already, or deep into your organization, hundreds of people, down this level. As the matrix grows and it opens up here, level 10, level 11, this is where you start to see these earnings really accelerate. And when you're able to get started and get your couple of people up high in your matrix, it's the matching bonuses that go on. Like if your matrix, and this is just for numbers, guys, this is to show you what's possible here. But if your matrix was to fill out through 16 levels, the cumulative earnings is like $65,000 a month. Okay, well, if you were to sponsor your first two people and their groups were to fill out, your cumulative earnings is like $104,000 a month. But again, a lot of that earnings happens down here. So getting those layers of duplication, whatever we can do to get that going, that's where we start to see the drive deep into the organization. And Pete, you're on your commissions, as you've had time to mature your group out. You've been here since the beginning. You want to just kind of share a little bit about what you're seeing on those deeper levels and how it's been spread out?
Oh my God, it's so exciting to see 500 people on, 12, 15 levels down. But you know what I love about this comp plan? Even if I would have filled a matrix, even if I was to max it out, I still get check matching. I could get check matching on my 25th level and
Right.
beyond. So, and then I love the fact that there's people, because of the dynamic compression, if there's people on my 17th level and people were to drop out, hopefully they won't, but if they did, it rolls up. So it's like money in the bank in both ways. So I can go beyond my 16th and I have a bankable 17th, 18th, 19th that can compress up to constantly fill it. It's an incredible comp plan, guys.
Yeah,
So
and
but
that's
the
why I
more
put,
people you get, the higher up, the more it can fan out. So it's
yeah,
like Charles is saying, it's just amazing.
yeah, and that's why I put a 17th level down here, even though you personally don't get paid on your 17th level. You see these zeros down here, but you would earn a check match on your people on those levels. And so that's why that's why the check matching, this is off of just two enrollments. The difference between this, it's like $39,000. That's just the difference between sponsoring two people. And that's why I wanted to, I made this slide just to demonstrate how powerful the matching component is inside of this plan. And so, as we get the 2x2, and this is why I feel, having the right co-op and really unlocking these fundraising campaigns that will go to fill in with customers and fill out the matrix. Because remember, every single customer falls into the matrix the same as an affiliate. And at any point, a customer can upgrade to an affiliate and they can start earning. But even if a customer remains a customer, is never an affiliate, you would still match their check as if they were an affiliate. That's a key part to this plan. And this is why, as you bring on a customer, it could fall really deep into your organization, and then it kicks off a whole new 5 generations of match inside of that piece.
And that
Now,
new website, our latest website at the bottom of my website in your back office, that funnel is awesome, man. It really covers everything and would get a customer very excited.
yep, and we're even taking that, one step funnel, or one step further on that funnel. Even it comes out, it looks really good. Well, I've studied some additional tactics to really make it look over the top. I mean, where when you get there on the website, just the way that it flows through and the way that we have the different calls to action, I would say that site looks really good on mobile, and about 70% of the traffic is actually mobile. But again, as people get in there, yes, we're developing the funnels for the fundraising. And Pete, chat for a second, and I'll pull up what those are starting to look like.
Yeah, so let's try to go out and our first iteration was to get all the networkers, our warm market, and now we're going to start developing co-ops and good traffic. Don't ever spam your link, guys. Make it a special thing. Get a decisions from people. If somebody says, let me get your links there, okay, cool. You're going to look at it now, and just try to collect that decision right away. Don't put it in like Telegram or anything, because you're just going to get a bunch of spammy traffic and stuff, and we don't want that. We want it to be a you know, a special thing to join Save Club and be part of this family, you know? So, yeah, I mean, I love that last funnel. I love all the funnels. I don't know how many we have, like 15 or 17 or something like that, but we have pretty much every service you could possibly think of. Well, you know, I'm sure we'll think of a couple more in the coming months. We're going to have the AI going. We're going to have the international toolbar. We're going to have large teams coming in from other countries. We're going to have nonprofits coming in, bigger companies coming in to use this as a benefit for the employees, like Charles was talking about. And I mean, and then what's going to be left, guys? When we do all that and there's nothing we can think of that you can't save money on, we're going to work on conversions more and more and more. We're going to work on making this the highest converting website in the world, because the idea itself is already the highest converting thing. Everybody wants to save money. There's never going to be a time where people don't want to save money. No one's going to come out with another idea that usurps saving money. And so we have the ultimate mindset idea. People are already thinking about saving money with inflation and everything. I mean, the world's not going to get cheaper, guys, ever. So, you know,
So great news, Pete.
Yep.
And
Oh, look at that.
I didn't see who asked that. Deborah asked that, maybe. Great news. This is coded. So we develop a page, we make the video, and then we code it. This is all coded now, and I'm going to be able to take this and make it a replicated landing page. So maybe by Wednesday night, we could have this fundraising page, you know, live. And then with this, you know, in addition to this, we've got all these really cool, you know, flyers and stuff to go with it. So you're gonna have some brochures and other components. So we got these brochures here, and you can have them all printed out. So I've got print on demand so that you can print a flyer and bring it over. And you can print front and back, by the way. So you can put this on one side, you can put this on the other side. So you got a really dynamic 8.5 by 11 that you could bring to an organizer and say, we've got a nonprofit, you know, nonprofit fundraising that works. All the components here, you know, zero pressure, everyone can afford, you know, free, real savings, turnkey system, and get you set up quickly. And that's going to be the key, is just getting people into seeing how quick this system can be put into place for the organization. Because typically organizing a fundraiser for a group, it's a lot of work, and the organizations need funds. But I'll tell you what, it is always a leader. In most cases, it's a single person. There's a single contact that's in position to bring influence to tens of thousands of people. It's about getting this flyer, that landing page, into their hands so that you can do it. And here's what I'll do. Where's that page? Here it is. Here, I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to play this video again. I don't think everybody saw this video. I'm going to zoom it in one more time. Okay, let's see how that's looking. Okay, I'm going to play this video so you understand what the fundraiser program's looking like. You know what? This is a coded page. I'm not sure this is the actual video. Let's see. We'll have to pull it up from our Vimeo. But as this page gets live, you know, we'll turn it on this week. Doesn't look like it wants to play for us right now.
It's okay. It looks great. It'll be worth the wait.
Yeah, I can pull it up again right here too.
Hey, while he's doing that, guys, shout out to our friend Leanne. She just crossed over 150 personals, which is amazing. And she's in Australia on the other side of the world. So I just think that's amazing, you know.
Well, I've got to pull it up here, Pete.
And she's one of our newest 4-stars. Congratulations, Leanne, for sure. Crushing
Amazing.
it.
Yeah, incredible. All right, here we go. Okay. So I'm going to share this page and share with you guys our new funnel here for fundraising. And Let me just pop this whole window.
What if your next fundraiser actually made people?
Is that
What if your next fundraiser actually made people's lives better instead of just asking them for money? Here's what I mean. Normally, fundraisers are short-term. You do the car wash, sell candles or candy bars, make a little bit of money, then it ends and you're right back at zero. But imagine this, one simple promotion, and your organization earns monthly income for years. That's exactly what Save Club does. It's a free mobile app that helps people save money on things they're already buying. Groceries, gas, travel, utilities, even restaurants. It also can cut their monthly bills, saving them money on cable, internet, electricity, and more. So instead of asking people to give, you're giving them a way to save. And every time they become a member of our savings club, your nonprofit gets paid every single month. It's easy to set up, we give you all the marketing, and it's totally turnkey. In fact, most groups launch in just a few days. And the best part? Everyone can afford free. So if you're looking for a fundraiser that actually lasts, one that helps your community and supports your mission at the same time, this is it. One where your organization gets paid, month after month, year after year. Click below and let's get your organization set up today.
Love it.
yeah, so that piece there and that new page, and with all these brochures and stuff, they'll all be part of the marketing, back end there. So, and again, it always starts, look, the best way to bring that to somebody is to have them become a user, have them utilize the free app, have them go through a landing page, have them view the tour, have them view the customer page where you've got all the different savings that are there. And the idea is that it's a fundraiser that continually brings revenue, that they can launch it, promote it once, it's going to bring in revenue month in and month out for years to come. And then it goes. Now, what we're not doing with the fundraising program is we're not really promoting the business opportunity to the members, but it's there. There's still a bridge for someone to go from savings to earnings. And as they get to that point, they've really had to seek it out. We're not throwing it in everybody's face. But the nonprofit or the organization's not going to say, well, okay, wait, I don't want to get paid on this person that's into doing it. They're into building it. They've got an excited person there that's now expanding that. And this is the first time that fundraising has this seamless way, this product that can reach all these people, and then they can get leverage. So the two key components there are the residual earnings and the leverage, something that would live far beyond that single organizer's efforts. Because like I said, in most cases, these nonprofits, it's a single person. They might rally a little team within their organization, and that person gets it done. It's that leadership quality person that's volunteering their time or their energy to do something because they need to be able to get more revenue for that organization to survive. Well, this is an opportunity for that person's efforts that they put into place one time to actually attract in the right leadership, and then it has this perpetual growth that that organization might never be able to experience. Actually, putting an asset into place that's going to drive funds for that group in perpetuity. So this was brought to us. This was another initiative that was brought to our attention from an affiliate, and this is why I'm doing the phone calls, why I'm opening up my calendar to have people reach in and share their ideas, and then we'll work with you to get these first pilot programs off the ground, because we don't know all the different challenges within launching organizations just quite yet. I mean, we're foreseeing everything, we're putting the piece in place, but just remember, an organization that brings on just 1,000 people, you and the organization earn about $1,000 a month. I mean, come on, that's huge. There's all the upfront, fast start bonuses and pieces that are part of that. But to put something in place, I mean, if you're a soup kitchen, that basically helps your entire staff and probably feeds a huge community every single month. on a campaign that you can do one time. And yeah, and in that one soup kitchen idea, they're saying, well, man, maybe we get the flyers when people are out there panhandling. Someone gives them a donation, say, here's something for you. Just give them a flyer. They go get the app. Who knows where those could lead? But these creative marketing ideas and these components are really out there. So we're going to work to get this live, for everybody this week. But don't hesitate to share this information. And there'll be more specific trainings on this inside the Blitz. I did the super networking training inside the Blitz about how to prepare yourself for those conversations and those introductions, and to find the right people. But just remember, just because you might not know the right person, the likelihood of you knowing somebody that knows the right person is much more. And the likelihood of them knowing somebody that's the right person is much more. So the active art and the active work of networking and working through contests and asking for referrals, you'll notice that the most successful people in real estate, the most successful people in sales of cars and all these things, they're experts at asking for a referral. And if you give someone great service and you bring somebody value, don't be shy. The bold person that asks for the referral normally gets it, because people do want to help you and they do want to share a good thing. Now, also, the number one reason somebody refers something is because it makes them look better. So if it's going to help somebody look better by referring you, if you come across the right way and you're able to honor that person, uplift and edify them, then yeah, they'll love to give a referral. And so I think that's another key training. I'm going to write that down, about how important the uplifting and edifying is inside of this business, because it really does lead to direct referrals. And there's always potential there to say something nice about somebody. And it's just a matter of doing it and kind of creating that as a culture of what we do, because that will then perpetuate more referrals and more pieces there. So these are little pieces of training that we're dropping into these calls that will perpetuate further into your group, and people will follow what you do. So if you ask for a referral, or you got to somebody through a referral, you could say, hey, Pete, because Angie referred you is why I'm talking to you. Our business runs on referrals. We're helping out this organization. If you could refer me to somebody else that has an organization, who do you know? And they probably know somebody off the top of their head. And if you've done a good job being kind and cordial, there's no reason for them not to give you a referral. But to GET, you must ASK, and just know that you're probably one or two referrals away, and that one organization could not only earn you thousands of dollars a month residually, it could also really help out that organization. So that was the message for today. I really wanted to get out there for you guys. I don't want to run these trainings more than an hour, but I'd like to some closing thoughts here, Pete, on just kind of where we're at in the life cycle of this business. I always look at, like, anytime I've grown businesses or organizations, it's like the same type of life cycle as a baby. You've got like the in the womb stage, you've got the brand new newborn infant, and then you're starting to grow up. And I feel we've got about a 2-year-old right now as far as a business, because he's running around. The messages don't come out perfect all the time, but everyone's starting to see the potential of what's there. And Pete, if you can comment on that, as far as you've built many organizations, many teams, just kind of comment on where we're at in the life cycle of Save Club.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like just yesterday you and I were having pizza. You were in crutches. You just had your knee surgery, and we were talking about what this could be. And I think we've already done a lot of things we didn't even think of just a couple months ago. But I mean, the thing that's always worked for me is I just try to fall in love with what I'm doing. The idea, I want to be a part of it. I want to raise my hand. And we're such a new company and such a still a little company really compared to all the big behemoths out there. But a lot of people are burned out, and there's a lot of great companies out there, don't get me wrong, but a lot of people are burned out on traditional product MLMs and stuff like that. And this is a different thing. This is a different idea that really everybody in the world can kind of comprehend. So it's not a niche-y thing or anything like that. So just, you can get a $12 t-shirt. You can, Charles has been helping people make business cards. You can get on his calendar and talk to him. I saw a lady the other day. She was just, I forget her name. I think it was Deborah, but she was so incredibly impressed that she got to spend a few minutes with the CEO one-on-one. I mean, it meant the world to her. She'll probably become extremely successful just from doing that one thing. So if you have a great idea for us, if, just be a part of it, like just, get involved. And one thing you can do, go out there and be a product of the product. Go try to be the biggest saver of electricity in the company right now. Try to be someone that masters the 90-day blitz more than anybody. Find something that you really gravitate towards, and maybe you'll be the co-op superstar. Find something that you'll be really good at in your mind, and you're excited about it, and then go crazy and just be a part of it. And then we'll pay attention to you, and you'll be a big influence on people in the future. And for me, that's always really worked. I've just really tried to dive in, and I don't have a big email list. I don't know everybody. I'm not a superstar, but I always tried to do the best I could with what I have to work with. And everybody that's listening to us can contribute. I mean, you can be a really good testimonial. You could find a way to market that we haven't thought of. You could find a service we haven't thought of yet. You could be in an area that we haven't developed yet. So everybody that's listening, we're so new and so young, you can actually change the outcome of this company by being involved. And that's all I wanted to do. I was lucky enough to know Charles, but I happened to be in Vegas, and I was like, I'm taking advantage of this. I'm going to spend as much time as humanly possible with Charles while I'm in Vegas. And that's what I did. And that's what he did. He was kind enough to do that with me. And that allowed me to be a part of this company and be on this Zoom right now. And that's all it was. And you guys can all do that right now. Be the best 90-day blitzer out there. Be someone that takes TikTok to the next level. Find something that you think is cool, that you'll want to do every day, and you'll want to do it and go crazy with it, and you'll have huge success. I know you will. And then you'll probably find two or three other things that work for you. And that's all it is. I'm filling this matrix, guys. Matt's filling this matrix. And it might take a little while, but we're going to do it. And it's going to be amazing. And we're going to be the best company in the world. And we're up every morning just doing the best we can with everything we got to work with. And, we don't have billions of dollars or anything like that, but we have great ideas. We have great incentive to do it for you guys. And we just want everybody to experience, this amazing company. I mean, I love this.
A couple examples, with we had a good rush there for our college students, and we got a whole bunch of app downloads, and that came from the field, because just like raising a child, they say it takes a village, and really we've got an incredible team here. We got an incredible village of excited people, and so.
I had three. This is one of the things when Charles and I were talking before we launched. We took this comp plan's never existed before, but we took some things from other comp plans, and Charles made it so much easier. Like former iterations of this idea, you had to have like 100 personals to qualify. We only have to have like 4 people. And guys, the secret to my success was just 3 people. There were 3 people out of the dozen or so that I showed it to right away. 3 of them were like, yeah, this is cool. I'm going to do it. I'll drop everything and do it. And that's what helped me be really successful. So it doesn't take much, man. It's just a little group.
Yeah, and the key thing here is it takes a village to build up the armor, the mindset, and the artillery to go get it done. And so just like the college program was an affiliate that said, I got a daughter who's going to college, and these college students need a way to save money. What can we do? We came up with an idea and we executed on it. We brought that video out, and it netted a whole bunch of app downloads and some upgrades and the right people there. But now that program's with the company. It's here. It's going to be part of the company forever. Another person came to me with the nonprofit component, saying, hey, we've got organizations. We've got this huge church network, that is needs a fundraising program. Let's figure it out. And so we got the smart people together. We created a video, created a landing page, and now we put it up. And these people are going to run with it. So you're on this call looking for the right opportunity for you. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know what your proclivity is, what your natural innate ability is going to be, if it's with social media, if it's with recruiting, if it's in your warm market, if it's with getting businesses or getting nonprofits or whatever. But the idea is you've got your war chest of artillery here to go to work with. And so I commend all of you for coming on and learning these different skills and tactics. And it's important, even if you're not going to be utilizing a program, if you're not going to be utilizing a program like nonprofit or TikTok or one of these things, you'll find what works for you. But guess what? Someone in your group will. At some point, there's going to be someone that is attracted to Save Club. They're going to come in because they like 2-for-1 pizzas, but they're going to be like, oh, I've been sitting on the board of this nonprofit for the last 20 years and we struggle with funding. Boom. And that one connection is there. So it's about having preparation and opportunity aligned. And that's when people get lucky. Well, I'll tell you, the more that you educate yourself, the harder you work, the more you practice, you'll get lucky more often. And so with that, everybody, thank you so much. We're right here at over an hour. Thanks for joining this Monday training call. I'm going to get the recording out there. We'll get it posted onto the piece. And again, if you haven't got the calendar invite part, as many of you that filled it, I'll be filling you guys in with how that goes. But I'm excited to meet everybody. You hear your stories, you hear what things are working, what's not working, and then we're committed on the corporate team to making sure that we do as much listening and optimizing as we can, so everyone can win. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Later.